As a fellow veteran, I understand where you're coming from. As I have gotten older, I have realized that we in fact do not own our land. We only rent it from the local government. When someone can take something from us because we cannot pay what they tell us to, we do not own that thing. Our founding fathers understood that property was the way to create wealth and liberty. We as a society have strayed far from what we are supposed to be. We are now working nearly 6 months or more per year just to pay some form of taxes. We are not free. We have the illusion of freedom.
Everything I'm about to say, you already know it to be true. You are a slave. You are a slave to money, to social economics, to status, to politics, to ideology. You have sold your soul to have a place in a world order that you should naturally oppose. So, okay, you see the title, right? I say slavery will be an upgrade from the way we live. Now, before all you dudes get in y'all booties, get all butthurt about it, let me explain something to you. This concept that y'all believe happened of chattel slavery never existed in Americas. I'm going to say again, this concept of chattel slavery never existed in Americas. And you know who could prove that best? The people that believe in chattel slavery. You talk to any of these pro-black Negroes, they're going to tell you story after story of how somebody supposedly bought their way out of slavery or earned enough money. And, it's come on, man. Their own beliefs don't add up to chattel slavery, right? But you did have indentured servitude and other forms of contractual slave agreements. You had sharecropping. Make no mistakes about it. All of these things are indeed forms of slavery. They are. But they are no more or less a type of slavery than the way we live right now. Right now, it's the same thing, people. We suffer the same type of abuses from those in upper management, the psychological abuse, the mental abuse, sometimes even sexual abuse. We work hard for slave wages. I mean, what's the difference? We work long hours, we work all day. I mean, it's the same thing, right? It is the same thing. This way that we live today is slavery. But the problem is they keep you focused on a type of slavery that never existed, to the point where you don't compare how you live today. Okay, let's say chattel slavery was real. That still don't make the way we live right now good. Let's say you honestly believe chattel slavery happened. Even if you're a white person listening to this, because I know y'all listen to in the inline feeds. Even if you believe chattel slavery happened, that don't mean that this is not slavery the way we live right now. We work almost our entire lives, and now from this generation on, from my generation on, we more than likely gonna die with nothing. With nothing. Owning nothing. And y'all get stuck in this stuff by living vicariously through people online claiming that they're balling. But we know the statistical data. Y'all love statistical data when it suits you. They give you this data and statistical numbers because the truth is, most Americans are just one crisis away from being homeless. They one crisis away from being destitute. I mean, look, we are in a bad situation. And we know this because we know the median incomes. We know who makes what the demographics across the board. We know what people have in their bank accounts. All this data is public. They don't tell you what Joe Blow have in his bank account, but they tell you that the average American has this amount of money saved, and the average American is this amount in debt. They tell you that. So my point is, we know exactly what the economic health of the average American really is, regardless of race. From the time you go to school, I got some notes right here. At the age of 5, until you retire at the age of 65, that's 60 years. Think about this, 60. Your life expectancy is 71. So you got 5 years before and 6 years after, that's 11 years total. On both sides, you are too young and too old to really enjoy life. So all of the years that you have a chance to be alive and able to function well enough to do something, you work for 60 years. School and work is the same thing. The kids these days go to school all day and then they got homework in elementary school. Who in the hell give first graders homework, bro? We didn't have homework in the first grade. So now they got to spend 3 more hours outside of school doing school work instead of being kids trying to get some playtime in. They basically cut out recess in most schools. So the school now, you wonder why they got metal detectors in schools. You wonder why they got so much violence in school. The schools have become institutions. That's all they are. Institutions. And I don't mean of higher learning either. Institutions. Metal detectors in schools. We didn't have metal detectors in schools when I was coming up, bro. We never had to worry about nobody shooting up a school. It's a different environment that they have created because they really don't want you to enjoy life. That's what this is about. They got us trapped in the system already. They can make it comfortable. They can fix it so that you can at least enjoy yourself. They don't want you to enjoy yourself because what they want to do is own everything and own you too. And we are letting them do it because we so busy focused on a supposed type of chattel slavery that supposedly happened hundreds of years ago. So, I mean, this is okay the way we live. It's not okay the way you live. It's not okay the way we live, bro. This is not okay, bro. I mean, we basically spend 92% of our entire life cycle working. And remember, school is work. School is your job up until a certain age. That's why it's mandatory. School is your job up until a certain age. So now we spend 92% of our life cycle working. People, if you think that that is okay, something is wrong with you. Now here's the reality. More than likely, you're never going to own property because of the way property taxes and certain laws are. So you're never going to really own property. And property, as that veteran guy said, this was really tied to your freedom, man, and your wealth. But he's wrong about that because it wasn't tied to your wealth. It was tied to your freedom, right? He said liberty and wealth. It was tied to your liberty because your having a home and a yard at least meant that you had a roof over your head and food to eat. I got a picture of some wild onions that me and my wife foraged from out here in Texas. I'm going to show them. I'm going to put them on the screen. Check out these onions. Look at this. These are wild onions. They just grow. You don't really need a garden. You just need some land. So by them making sure that you don't have land, and first of all, they tell you what to do with your land. We have no freedom whatsoever. And part of the reason why we have no freedom is because of white folks and black folks. I'm blaming both sides. Because the truth of the matter is, we were the landowners, brothers and sisters. Y'all are being lied to. We were the landowners. We owned all of the land in the farmland. And they took it from us through one scheme, scam after another, through these laws, through these banking laws, these financing laws. They took our lands from us, and white folks cheered them on as they did it. They created most of these laws to take away our land. And now here we are today, these same laws are being used to take away white folks' land. What, you thought it wasn't going to happen to y'all white folks? What the hell you think? The laws are on the books. Y'all just helped these people facilitate what they wanted to do from the beginning, which makes sure that every human being depends solely on the system for their survival. And you gotta ask yourself, to what end? These people live and die just like we do. You can't really understand what they personally get out of it, but it doesn't matter. They're gonna uphold this stuff. You can vote them in all you want. Once they in, they no longer work for you. They run for office, get voted in, and then pass law after law that dog you out. Slavery would be an upgrade from this.
What?
Now I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove it. Suppose somebody told you, right, if you sign this indentured servitude contract and you work 7 years as an indentured servant, i.e. a slave, right, you walk out with land of your own that nobody can ever take from you. Might not be a lot, right? Might not be a lot. 10,000 square feet or something. 15,000 square feet. It's not a lot. Nothing to put a house on and have a little yard, right? Nothing extravagant, right? You walk away with that land and that land is yours and nobody can touch it. I would sign an indentured servitude contract right now at my age if it'll guarantee that when I walk out of it, I'm gonna have my land that nobody can touch. My 10,000 square feet, you know what I'm saying, that nobody can touch, ever. I would sign the contract right now. I'll do that for I hope me and my wife live long enough, you know what I'm saying, but I'll sign it right now. Right now. And that's the reality. How we live is that bad. And all y'all listening to this, you know y'all will do the same. If y'all still listening, good for you. I mean, you gotta hit the like button. You gotta hit the subscribe button. If you're still listening, I mean, you're feeling this stuff. Share the video, send it to somebody. But y'all will do the same thing. If it meant that you could have your property outright, your home and some land that you can grow your own food on, you would sign a contract right now to indentured servitude. Right now. With a smile on your face, because you know when it's over, you are in a better situation. It's worth it for you. What we gonna get out of this here, the way we live now? At the end of it all, you're gonna end up with nothing. You're gonna spend your whole life chasing a dream, chasing a fantasy, and you're gonna end up exactly where you started, with nothing. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Till next time, I'm out here, Brother Kush, aka the Blackout Salon.